I'm basically going to go over the 3 units I just mentioned and kind of show you what they're all about.
Like a little
10-4.
I'm going to start out with the Imperial Pikemen. What you guys are going to do is you're just going to open the gate and come outside. You can leave whatever units you bring inside. You can bring, whatever units. I'll have you call them out if I need them. Alright. Yeah, just open the gate and come on out. I'll start with the Imperial Pikemen. You guys know how to move your unit with X, right?
Yes.
Okay. You know how to rotate them in that, and while you're doing that?
I do it by accident, and I don't ever think about it when I need to.
Yeah, if you hold X, you can actually press D and A to rotate the formation. That way, if you're not looking in the right direction, you can still get it to face the direction you want it to. Alright, yep. Just come on out. I won't attack you, I swear. Alright, so this unit has basically 3 formations. It's got this spread out formation, the line formation, right? And then a circle formation. Now when you get this, a lot of people make the mistake of using the line formation. Unless you're making a kill box where the enemy's like you're on a side of a gate and you kind of want the enemy to hit this along the way, you don't ever want to use this formation. You always want to use either the spread out or the circle, right? And the main purpose of this unit, you would think like, hey, it's a cav, I gotta brace the unit so the cav charging into it doesn't hurt it, right? Actually, that's not true for this unit. For this unit, they have a walk ability. You press 2, you choose a direction for them to walk in, and then you walk them. This walk ability is basically like a CC stun. It will do heavy damage to cav and knock over any infantry that it comes across. Now, the reason I say the circle is okay is the circle is okay if you want to do that same walk, but through like a narrow area. Because the circle, you see how it gets them kind of tighter up?
Yeah.
They'll still all walk in the same direction. The other thing I typically do is if I am in this spread out formation and I do a walk, I will walk, and as soon as the walk finishes, I will brace them. Because basically you walk into the enemy, knock them all down, and brace, and these dudes will just start stabbing the crap out of them. You know what I mean?
Now, normally for those, is brace just letting them stand, leave them alone, or is that like hitting one?
Brace is hitting 1 on this unit.
Okay.
But yeah, the F1 formation and F3 are the best because when they're doing their walk, you want them to be as spread out as possible because the amount of damage output is better. Because the dudes in the back will be poking and the dudes in the front. Versus a line, they'll all kind of poke and then stop poking, you know?
Right.
Second unit, actually, I'll show you real quick what I would do with the... So say an enemy's coming at me, I do a walk. And then as soon as they're like good and like in the enemy, right? You do a little boom. And now they're braced, taking less damage and just in the enemy destroying them. It's a good anti-infantry or anti-cav unit.
Ah, okay.
The next are the Imperial Spear Guards.
And those right there with the Imperial Pike, right?
Yep, those are Imperial Pike.
All right, these are the spear guards. Okay.
Yep,
Coming up now.
These ones you have to be. They're very slow. They run around with their big shields. They're very slow.
Well, that's what when I was reading between the two, because originally I was dead set on getting the shields because they've just killed me so many times.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that when we were talking yesterday, kind of speed was somewhat of the essence, and those guys are literal turtles.
Yeah, so it depends on the fight. If we're fighting AI, we want speed. If we're fighting against players, speed doesn't matter. You want to take it slow and steady. So these guys have 3 formations. They have the line, they have this testudo formation, and then they have a circle formation. If you ever get tired of pressing F1, F2, or F3, you can actually double-click the X button, and they will change formations.
Are you serious? That's nice to know.
Yeah. It's a lot easier sometimes when you're just like, oh no, I need you real quick in the circle around me. These guys, their ability is basically like a charge walk sort of thing. This is good if you're getting a lot of archer fire, right? It basically, they keep their shields up. The other ability they have is if you press their 2, they actually have a cover commander.
Okay, I've seen that one on the new ones that I just got. I've seen that option. That's pretty cool. I've used it, but not in PvP, only in PvE for the Raiders.
The other good thing is these guys, there's a doctrine that you can get for them that makes them immune to crowd control effects. And those are probably the ones you're getting killed by. Because if you can't knock down the unit, they're basically,
True, because I'm a glaive, so I actually specifically have an attack to knock things
so
down.
If you're like a glaive or a hero with an engagement, I highly recommend the cover commander to engage, because then you just charge in and do this, and then you break up the unit, and then they come in and start stabbing stuff. If you want to hold like a direction, the line is okay. I will say for units, you never want to put your unit in the center of the gate, right? You go,
Okay, yeah.
I want to block units from coming out. No, you always want your units to be in a kill box. What a kill box is basically this, right? You'd have a line of shields here, and you'd have a line of pikes behind them, and you do this.
And the pikes just poke through.
Yeah, you do this on both sides. And basically, what would happen is if they had cav charge out, the pikes would just kill all the cav, because the cav can only charge in one direction, right? They can't.
True, they can't turn
as much. The Liaos can turn, but the whole point of the shield wall over top of the pikes is if there are infantry or something and they do turn to fight you, the shields are there to kind of protect the pikes. This is the one situation where kind of a pike line would be okay, because you want them to line up perfectly with these shields.
Right.
So yeah, the shields are pretty basic. The cover commander is important. Then the final is the DaggerAxeLancers. They're basically the best purple cav that's not a seasonal. Mine aren't very good or maxed out right now because I just unlocked them myself, but
Yeah, I have nothing maxed out, so I understand.
they have 3 formations. My favorite formation for cav is always wedge. So they have a spread out formation. They actually have a line formation, weirdly enough, for a cav.
I've seen the wedge, or I've used the wedge. I'm
wedge.
not quick with cavalry. They seem like they have to be set up
So the
more so than normal.
Cool thing about DaggerAxeLancers is they have basically a 2-part charge, right? So you'd here, I'll show you basically. I'll run across just to show you how they kind of. Cav have to. The big thing to remember about Cav in this game is they have to have a charge up spot. So when you use their charge ability, there should be a slight gap, at least between where they are and where the enemy is, so they can build up momentum, right? So with these, you charge them. See how they're kind of slow for a second, but then they put their thing out?
Yeah, and they really hump it forward there.
And then they have a return to me, which is a return charge.
Oh shit, I have not seen that.
Yeah, so they have a 1 and a 2. The 1 is the charge, 2 is return charge. And what you would do is you'd use the 1 to charge in and the 2 to kind of get them to charge back from the enemy's rear, right? The other thing you can do is say you're like, oh no, my normal charge is on cooldown. Say the enemy is right in the middle of this road here, you'd kind of run around and you could press 2 and have them basically charge. It gives them kind of an extra charge. Because their return charge always chooses where the player is and charges in that direction.
Okay, that's a way you can misdirect them as well.
Mm-hmm.
Or redirect them, I'm sorry.
You got your guys' pikes. You got the IPGs right there. Cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to charge, and you're going to go in here and you're going to time your walk so that it basically countercharges the cav, okay?
Oh, time their walk. Let's see, these right here only have a charge currently.
The blue ones. I was talking about the whoever has the purple. Lord Silk, right? No, Kara Morgan has the purple. Okay.
Okay, yeah, mine are blue ones.
Okay, so what you're gonna do is I'm gonna charge these, and you're gonna press the 2 ability and walk in the direction, and it basically will show you what happens. All right, you ready?
I see the walk.
Yeah. Do you see how that just destroyed the cav unit?
Yes, they absolutely got deleted.
That is why you use. And do you see one unit just charged to the whole unit while they were bracing? Did you see that where he just kind of did nothing, right?
That's weird.
Yeah. So it's.
But that was cool though.
Yeah, the walk is always better. The walk can also kill heroes, units, whatever. But yeah, that's basically all I really had. I wanted to just get those 3 units and show you kind of their shtick.
Okay, that's pretty cool. I've got some purple ones. They're like the shield ones, but they're the other ones. I can't think of the names right now.
Yeah, they're spear sergeants, I believe.
That sounds correct. Yes.
They're not.
They do that somewhat, not as well as they do.
What they upgrade to is better than what they actually are. Yeah, we'll just let the timer run out. You have any questions?
No, I think I just make sure I go through and get some practice in. And of course, in my case, I've got to open up to the better ones, but I can practice with what little I do have.
If you ever want to practice a unit, I highly recommend doing it in expeditions. The main reason to do it in expeditions is you're versus AI, so it kind of lets you, toy with abilities a bit.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, these guys spear sergeants. This is why it's kind of like, if I had a unit with me, that would have gone better. But you see, I can just break them up easily.
Oh, the hammer gives me hell. How do you unlock the hammer?
It's one of the seasons.
Yeah, I think it told me I had to either revert back or go to season 3. Yeah.
Yeah. So how the seasonal things work is you can swap between seasons as much as you want, and you can only work on one season at a time, but it does save your progress. So like, say you're working on something and you want to swap, you're like, hey, this other unit I kind of want to work towards first. You can basically ignore other seasons and just go towards the units you want.
I'll be damned. Okay, that's good to know.
The only downside to the season system is you have to unlock the blue tier unit first before you can work towards the purple one.
Yeah.
I highly recommend the monks from this season and Fortebrachios.
Yeah, I'm working towards the monks. I've got the little fire stick fellas. I like them.
Yeah. For purple units, the nice thing for you guys will be start of next season will be they start with blue only at the start of the season. So like it locks any purple or higher units. So in your siege matches and stuff, you can get practice with the blue units, and you'll probably be better off to complete challenges and stuff because you won't be getting run over by gold units.
That would be nice.